There's a very famous saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Speaking from the experience of taking hundreds of interviews for hiring project managers, technical leads, developers, and testers, 90% of the times I make up my mind to select or reject a candidate in the very first question's answer that they give me. And in this video, I'm going to give you the secret sauce of how elegantly and gracefully you can answer this question to make that solid first impression. Let's go. Hi Shweta, I have your CV here. Can you walk me through this CV and tell me more about your experience, please?
Hi, my name is Shweta Sharma. I work as a PM and in the past I have worked as a BA as well. I have worked for many companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro. I have 15 years of experience and as a project manager, I can manage project risk, create project plans. I've done loads of IT projects. You can see that in my resume. I am a great team player.
Unfortunately, Shweta did not make this interview because she lost it in the very first question itself. So my secret sauce includes 5 key ingredients, and I'm going to explain to you one by one each one of them, and towards the end of the video I'll give you the perfect answer which will contain all these 5 key ingredients. Okay, so number 1 ingredient is 80 by 80 rule. What do I mean by that? 80 by 80 rule simply means that 80% of your answer, I repeat, 80% of your answer need to contain 80% of the job aspect that the company or the interviewer is looking for, that you will find typically in the job description, right? So let me break it down for you. Let's go back to Shweta's example. She's applying for a project manager role and she's mentioning that she's good in managing project risks and project plan. However, project manager's job is much wider, right? And as you and me all know that project manager, they manage project scope, they manage project budget, they manage project teams, they manage project stakeholders, they deliver business benefits, they run through the RAID log, which is risks, issues, and dependencies and things like that. She only covered 2 aspects, and that is not going to cut through, right? So the first rule is 80 by 8. The second key ingredient is quantification. I always say use numbers because that leaves an everlasting impact on the interviewers. Going back to Shweta's example, you may remember that she has said that she's worked on many IT projects, lots of IT projects. That means nothing to the interviewer. He's not going to remember it or she's not going to remember it. So why not use numbers, right? So for example, she could have said that, look, I have delivered so far 18 projects or 15 projects or 10 projects. I have managed budgets up to £2 million, £3 million, £1 million, whatever that number is. I have managed a team size of 40 plus team members or 30 plus team members. Immediately, all these numbers will get stuck into the interviewer's mind because remember, we are talking about interviewer going through 40, 30, 20 candidates and they're not going to remember so many candidates. The candidates who will stand out of the crowd will make a really solid impression. Ingredient number 3 is biggest achievement. In Shweta's case, of course, we didn't shoot the whole video, but every answer needs to include the biggest achievement, and not only that biggest achievement, but also the biggest achievement that can resonate well with what the interviewer is looking for. So for example, if they're looking for a project manager who has done supply chain management projects, right? So Shweta should have said that, look, I've delivered 15 plus projects, but my biggest achievement or the project that I'm really proud of is invoicing management that I did for GlaxoSmithKline, for example. And the reason is that this project was span across 5 multinational companies. I was managing a team size of 40 plus people and the budget was roughly £2 million and the project was delivered on time and with the agreed scope. Not only this, the project also delivered £4 million of working capital savings. How cool is that? How cool is that answer? That is what I'm talking about, that the biggest achievement that you need to highlight, because remember, the first few minutes are really important. That first impression counts. It matters a lot. The ingredient number 4 is the chronology. What do I mean by that? It's the sequence of explanation that we are going to give in this answer. If you remember, in Shweta's case, she was using words and fillers such as like that. She was also jumping from one point to another point. She was also not coming very confident because she did not really prepare the chronology of the events that she's going to explain to the interviewer. Remember, if you don't do this, interviewer is going to be very, very confused with your answer. Anyway, they're very confused because they are doing interviews for 20 people, and we don't want that. What we want is absolute clarity in interviewer's mind. So I'm going to break it down, this chronology, into 5 key points. Okay. So we need to start, number 1, we need to start with thanking them that they have taken time to interview us. And then in this, you talk about how many number of years of experience you have, and break it down to the multiple roles if you have done multiple roles. I've seen many candidates, they have done business analyst, project manager, tester roles, which is all great. Mention all of those multiple roles that you've done because it is very much desired. But break it down that you've done 5 years of project management, 3 years of SAP, whatever that is, just so that the interviewer is very, very clear in terms of number of years that you specified for a particular role. So the first thing is thank them, and also break down the multiple roles you might have done and bring your total number of experience that you're applying for. Okay. Point number 2 is talking about your companies that you worked for or the clients you have worked for, because they want to know what is your industry, what is your sector, what is your domain that you come from. That summary is very, very helpful for them. And the company names and the brands do matter. They matter a lot, in fact. Okay. So the second point is break it down, your companies, your clients, your industry, and your sector. Moving on, point number 3 is talk about the expertise that you have or the aspects of the job that the interviewer wants that resonates well with the job description as well. Remember the 80 by 80 rule that I talked about in the beginning? That is what need to come here, which is the crux of this answer or this chronology. Talk about if they're looking for a Java project manager or a supply chain project manager, talk about how many projects you have done in that. Don't go specific to any project just yet. Don't read line by line your resume because you don't have time. They don't have time. Let them pick which is the project that they want to discuss because they have got the CV in front of them. So in the point number 3, talk about the project expertise that you bring and the skills that they are looking for. It needs to resonate really, really well. Point number 4 in the chronology is the biggest achievement that I just talked about. Drop the biggest achievement after explaining your expertise into point number 4. Talk about it. Again, I will use an example when I give you the final answer. Finally, the number 5 is say to them that you have covered a wide range of skills, expertise, and experience. And now you are happy for them to basically drill down any of the aspects that they would like, because now you don't want to take more time. Now you want to give the ball on their court and let them decide what part of your experience they want to now zoom in and understand more and more about it. So that is the chronology. Number 5 ingredient, and the last one, which is very, very important. Do not take more than 2 minutes to answer this question, please. I've sat into interviews where the candidates have taken 8 to 10 minutes to just answer the very first question, which is tell me about yourself. Who doesn't want to tell about themselves? Everybody does. But that doesn't mean we bore the interviewer to the death because we are giving them the entire life history that I have, where I come from, what do I do, what my hobbies are. They are not interested in that. Simply not. Okay. So my humble request and the way I look at candidates is candidates who can summarize information. They can give me what I need very quickly. Not more than 2 minutes. Please, not more than 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, you can cover a lot of things. You will ask me, hey Rahul, it is not possible to cover so much of that you talked about in just 2 minutes. My dear friends, it is absolutely possible, 100% possible, because I am now going to give you the answer that will be the perfect answer in just 2 minutes. Hi Simran, my name is Rahul Jain. Thank you so much for taking time out to interview me today. I have total 15 years of IT experience. The first 7 years of my work ex was working as a business analyst, and then remaining 8 years I've been working as a project manager. In the past, I've worked for companies including Mindtree, Superdrug, and Ocado. My clients include companies such as Unilever, GlaxoSmithKline, Tata Global Beverages. So naturally, I come from a FMCG and retail background. In my experience, I have delivered 20 plus projects ranging on various technologies and portfolios, including Java, digital platforms, and supply chain, HR, and payroll. Specifically on Java, I have worked on roughly 13 projects and successfully delivered them, and I believe this is what you're looking for. Working as a project manager, I have managed project budgets up to £3 million, and I have managed team size of up to 40 people. I can easily manage 3 to 5 projects in parallel. It's very comfortable to me. When it comes to project management expertise, I have 5 key strong areas within the project management. So I am really good in managing project scope. I can do a tighter control on the project budget. I can create project plans that deliver business benefits. And number 4 is stakeholder management. I am really strong in managing stakeholders. And finally, I can manage project RAID logs and deliver the project to the success. Although there is so much to talk about, but I want to just highlight one of the biggest achievement of my project management experience, which is my invoicing management project that was completely on Java technology. And I call it as a biggest achievement because in that project, I was managing a team size of 40 people and they were all widely spread out. The project was cutting across 5 multinational companies. I'm sure I've covered a lot of details, but I'm happy to now zoom into any specific areas that you would like me to do. I'm pretty confident that if you watch this video, you would nail any interviews and specifically this question. If you would like me to make more videos around interview questions or any career related topics, please drop a comment. That's how I know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up just so that I know you're liking this content. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing it now because I'll be coming up with more and more value-packed videos. Until then, signing off.